I think these little miniature power stations are really cool, very practical. I use this one here to run my lights. You know, our power goes out at the house a lot. You can run your refrigerator for a few hours with that, your sump pump, all right? But I was thinking, well, heck, if I wanted to do something bigger with electricity, like I wanted to weld with it, I don't have electricity here at my yard, I would want a bigger system. Well, then the prices get pretty high on those, you know? And then I thought, well, you know what? I'll just build my own. And that's what I want to show you guys. This is a very popular device. You see these a lot on YouTube in the solar niche. And I figure there's no reason I can't put one of these together. I have my own backup solar system. It's an off-grid system. It's not tied into the grid at the house because our power goes out so much. So this is just really built on that same style that I have back at the house, but I've put it on a dolly. And let me show you this. But let me tell you though, this is dangerous. Let's just not beat around the bush. Electricity is dangerous. I would recommend that you do nothing that I am showing you here unless you really know what you're doing. And if you really need to dive into the weeds with the technical stuff, you can find these on other channels. It's something I'm not going to be able to talk about. I'm showing you the practical aspect of a solar project like this. Well, I'm calling it solar, but I don't have solar hooked up to it. But all of the components are used for solar, like this all-in-one inverter. And then ultimately we're going to be talking about this, it's upside down, the Vatrer server rack battery, because these new batteries are slick. They're called lithium iron phosphate batteries right here. So they're called LiFePO4 lithium iron phosphate batteries. So this is a server rack battery, and you know, these lithium iron phosphate batteries still come in the traditional battery box like what you see on a full-size automobile truck battery. What is neat about these is that this comes with a DC circuit breaker, so you can turn them on and off. Now there's a lot of other advantages to having these as well, and I'll get into that, but let me just give you an overview of this. In the solar industry, these are known as all-in-one inverters, and I'm serious, guys. These are a dime a dozen, and they run all over the place with prices. This one I got on a sell-through site. I got this one dirt cheap. Probably if I was going to put up a solar system, I would not have bought this one because you can't put as much power with your solar panels through it. But for what I'm using it for, to run electrical loads here at my wood yard, this is really good. It's a 3,000 watt output, and it has like a 4,000 watt surge. So if you do have a heavy, you know, like a big surge to get an electric motor running, or what you're going to see later where we welded with this, this can handle it. These run all different prices, and you can find them dirt cheap. And then you'll probably find too that like the same few companies make them all. You just got to find the one that fits your needs, and then you can get it. Anything mobile like this, the battery is where the money is, and that's going to be your most expensive component to it. This whole machine that you see right here was possible because of Vatrer. So they contacted me and they said, hey Joe, if we give you a battery, you think you could do a project with it? And I says, heck yeah, I know exactly what I'm going to do. And we're going to talk about the Vatrer battery. I'm an affiliate now, and if you're interested in something like this, you can get a good price on them. But just like that box that you see in there, this is really that. It's all it is. It's a battery with an inverter. That's it. And what makes this so nice is that it is so simple to connect. If you can change a car battery, you can put one of these together. Look at this. Here's the battery. You have a positive and a negative. Goes right into your DC positive and negative. I bought a 12 gauge extension cord, heavy stuff. I cut it in half, and it goes, one side goes into your AC in, the other one goes into your AC out. Trust me, you don't want to get those backwards. I went ahead and just put it on a dolly. I just screwed holes through the handle and bolted the all-in-one inverter right to it. I put a little zip tie through it just so it doesn't flop around. I put a ratchet strap around the battery to keep it on the dolly. I added a hook. I lost the bolt for it, so I got it zip tied right now, but I added a hook to hang up the cable on it. And we have some serious power. 3,000 watts AC output, 5 kilowatts capacity just out of this one battery. Good heavens. Guys, you can run your house with this for days. You could. And especially if you were to add solar panels to this, this could run your entire house. These things too, this is just a 110 or 120 output. They are making these now with split phase output, where you can have, your 240 volts coming off of one machine like this. And you could have some serious power with these. But occasionally I need some serious electrical power and I have no electricity here at the wood yard. Like I needed to weld something yesterday. And what do you know? We got this machine out and it worked great. We welded with this with a 110 welder, and I will be showing that to you shortly. These things are very simple to make, and what makes them nice, you can use these all the time. You just don't have to wait for your power to go out. If you had solar panels, you could just leave this plugged in. You could put this into a closet or leave it out in the garage, run a cable to like the refrigerator, and you could just run that refrigerator off of this for forever, as long as you get an occasional sunlight coming into those panels. So like where my system that I have built at home is bolted to the wall, this one here is mobile. If a family member's house were to lose power, I could just put this in the back of the truck and take it. Or how about this? If you live in one of these cities where you got some crazy electrical rates between your nighttime and daytime, you could charge this battery up at night and then run your loads during the day and have a savings like that. But this system now is set up to charge with the AC in. So I just plug this into the wall and it automatically charges it up to 100%. And I'll just leave it here. I could probably get the entire summer out of one charge with this. But if it ever runs down low, I'll just take it home and plug it in and get it charged up. But how about these server rack batteries? So they still make these batteries that come in the shells like a full-size automotive battery. But these server rack batteries are so nice. They're not filled with lead acid, so you can lay them on their side, upside down. It doesn't matter. And they come with a DC breaker. And of course, we're dealing with electricity, but there's a lot of safety features in here for shock mitigation. For instance, in the all-in-one inverter, you have short circuit protection, overcurrent protection. In the battery, same thing. You have short circuit protection, surge protection, overcurrent protection, and then it's bad for these things to be used when they're kind of frozen, so they'll have low temperature protection in here. And they also have over temperature disconnect. So if this battery starts to get super hot, it'll shut it off. So these batteries have a computer inside of them, a battery management system. It's called a BMS. If this battery were to get super hot, it would shut it off to protect the battery. So the lithium iron phosphate batteries, do not get them mixed up with lithium ion or the batteries that they put in the cars. These do not have that potential for thermal runaway. They don't catch on fire, and they will last and last and last. And I'm talking decades. These will probably outlast me. That's how good these batteries are. And on this Vatrer server rack battery, you can take the entire capacity out of this battery before it turns off. We're like a lead acid battery, when you start using it, it starts to lose its voltage. These will stay above 50 volts until it gets to around 90% discharge. And the discharge and charging them back up, these are rated for 5,000 cycles. So you're talking years and years and years of service that you can get out of one of these. The Vatrer comes with a DC circuit breaker, and that's what you see here. And we got some serious sun out here. But it has a readout screen, which is really slick, and it gives you the capacity of how much is left in this battery. And it's at 95% for what we used yesterday, which was very impressive. But it will also show you, it's got the touch screen, it gives you the temperature, which is useful to know. And because this has 16 cells inside, it gives you the voltage and the spread between all of the cells that are inside of the battery. And what makes the Vatrer so cool is that this would be a budget battery, because some of these things are really tricked out. They have communications where they'll have ports where you can plug the wire in from battery to battery and it feeds back to the inverter. But honestly, I don't need any of that. So this is a battery, and that's what I needed for this whole project. I just put an oddball all-in-one inverter on it, and we got ourselves a nifty little system here. And I will put a link to their website. The thing that's really slick about these, probably going to find these to be the least expensive ones that are out there on the market, and they come with free shipping. And if you know how much it costs to ship a 100-pound something across the country, you're saving a pretty good chunk of change. But have you ever thought about what does one of these things look like inside? Well, I got a second battery here, and let me show you. So this is what it looks like on the inside. Here's your top, here's your main circuit breaker. These are just really neat to look at, and you can tell just by looking at it all the care that was put into constructing this. What a lot of the other solar channels love about these is that they all the cells are screw-on, so that if one of the cells goes bad, you can remove it and put a new one in. But there are 16 of these cells, and they are all 3.2 volts each, and that's why the nominal charge is 51. This is upside down, 51.2 volts. So it's not 48 volts, but you get the idea there. This right here is your BMS. That's the computer that controls everything. And every one of these cells has a lead, which leads back to the BMS. And that's how this computer is able to stay on top of how this battery is behaving. And it does whatever it needs to do to protect it and to protect the end user. Oh yeah, the Vatrers also have Bluetooth. So you can download the Vatrer app and you can see your battery's performance from your phone, which I'm here to tell you is useful because my solar system I have at my house is in the basement, and you're always running up and down stairs, you know, to check everything out. But if you had it on your app on your phone, everything's good. You will find if you were to build one of these systems, the majority of your money goes into the battery. And just like the all-in-one inverters, there are all different brands of server rack batteries. But what you will find, and there are channels out there that tear these apart and just test the heck out of them, these got rave reviews. They are performing, really they're performing higher than their rated capacity. And while I am not capable of doing something like that, I do pay attention. And that does give me the peace of mind that this is not some Mickey Mouse battery, but this is some serious stuff. Pretty cool, huh? Now, I know you guys want to see this thing work. Serious, we welded with this yesterday. It was pretty cool. So let me show you what we did yesterday with the welding, and then I'll meet you back here when we're all done. Okay, here we go. This is our task today. We broke off a weld on this disc, and you may have heard it flopping around occasionally, but we thought we would try out the generator that I have made to see if it is strong enough to run a 110 welder and put this back together. Huh? And of course, I will be staying at a safe distance while Welderman does his thing. I would like to introduce you to a very important person today. This is Welderman. Welderman, how are you doing? All right. And we are welding with a 110 welder, and we're testing the solar generator that I made with the powered by the Vatrer server rack battery. So what is the electrical requirements to run this 110 welder that you have here, Welderman? Okay, well, I can tell by the look on your face that you are ready to go. So we are going to stay out of your way, and here we go. So we're welding, guys, with over, I'll just say 50 amps. There is a little bit of a surge there, but this thing is able to run it. The Vatrer server rack battery put into an all-in-one inverter. This is so cool, huh? Welder man's doing his thing with this little welder plugged right into the generator, guys. And it works. With all of the welding by Welderman, we are at 97% on this battery. So look at what we were able to do with a solar generator, a hand cart home brew. We found a heavy piece of angle iron. We thought we would just tinker with it, and let's just ask Welderman, what are the electrical parameters that you will be requiring of this of the generator? Okay, all right. So Welderman, we're out of your way, and here we go. Oh boy, we are in overload already. We are pulling. I'm trying to catch up to it. There we are, 50-ish amps he's welding with. We are at 2-3 kilowatts of power, and the Vatrer is just doing great. That's upside down there, guys. 96%, huh? Welderman's just burning right through that stick. And we're getting an overload warning occasionally, but then it goes away. This is supposed to have a 4,000 watt surge to it. We're up to 60 amps here. And 2.3 kilowatt load. That's some serious power coming out of this thing. So Welderman, I gotta ask you, how impressed are you with this Vatrer powered portable electrical generator? Just what I thought. It's awesome, isn't it? Heck yeah. And there you go, guys. The Vatrer battery powering my mobile electrical power cart. What the heck? We welded with this thing. So I hope you enjoyed this. Something different, but again, don't do anything that I'm doing. This is dangerous stuff. Serious. Please review everything that's out there and know what you're getting into before you build something like this. I don't want to see anyone out there getting hurt. All right, guys. Well, maybe you will see this at the International Firewood Expo. I'm sure there will be some electrical needs over there, and I'm sure that this will have the power to do it. I will put a link in the description for Vatrer batteries. Check them out if this is something that you're looking into. But this is easy to build. It really is. I hope you like this, guys. Everyone have a great day.